Hello and welcome to another PowerMaths lesson. We're carrying on with our time topic today and we're looking at quarter past and quarter to. Let's get going with a flashback 4 to get ourselves started. Here we go with today's flashback 4. Click pause here, have a go and click play when you're ready to go through the answers. Question 1 then, what time is shown on the clock? And the answer is 11:30. Question 2, describe the turn made by the fish. We can see it's completely upside down, so it's either made a half turn clockwise or a half turn anti-clockwise. Question 3, complete the sentence. Who is taller than who? We've got Annie and Eva, and the answer is that Eva is taller than Annie. And lastly, what fraction is shaded? 3/4 is shaded. Let's leave things there and move on to our PowerMaths. So here's your discover for today. You can see we're at the zoo and we've got different feeding times for different animals. Your questions are what time will the tiger be fed and what time will the penguin be fed? Things to think about. What times do you recognise from the work we've done so far? Are there any times you don't know? And what's the same and what's different about these times? Click pause, have a go at the discover and click play when you're ready to share answers together. Let's talk about today's Walt and Will and share some answers. Our Walt today is to be able to tell the time at quarter past the hour and quarter to the hour. And to do that, we're going to need to recognise when the minute hand is at quarter past, recognise when it's at quarter to, and then read and record the times. Let's have a think back to the discover then. You are asked to find what time the tiger will be fed and what time the penguin will be fed. Let's read up here and see what Ash and Sparks are saying. What if the minute hand travels a quarter of the way around the clock? And Sparks replies, well, then we'd call it quarter past. And when there is a quarter of an hour to go until the next o'clock, we call it quarter to. There's some examples of those times here. This is o'clock, when the minute hand is pointing straight up at the start of the hour. When it's travelled round a quarter of the way, so it's pointing towards the number 3, then we say that that's quarter past the hour, or the o'clock. And then we met this one yesterday. This is when it's gone halfway round. This is half past the hour. And when it's only got a quarter of the way to go, we call it quarter to the next hour. So the tiger will be fed at quarter past 5. You can see the hour hand has just gone past the 5. And the penguin will be fed at quarter to 6. You can see that the hour hand is on its way to the 6 and we've only got quarter of an hour left to go. Let's think together. Question 1 in our think together today says, what time does the reptile house open? You can see here we've got a picture with some times for the reptile house. Let me do this first one and then you can do the next one. I'm going to first find the clock which shows when the house is open, and that's this one on the left here. I'm going to start by looking at the minute hand, that's the longer hand. And I can see that it's not at the o'clock, in fact it's gone a quarter of the way around the clock and it's pointing at the number 3. So I know that it is quarter past an hour. Now I need to look at the hour hand to see what it's gone past. And you can see that it's gone past the 10. So the time is quarter past 10. What time does it close? Well, let's have a look. We can see that the minute hand is showing that it's got quarter of an hour to go until it gets back to the o'clock. So it's gone 3/4 of the way round and it's got 1/4 to go. So I know that this is a quarter to time, but I need to know what hour we're going to get to. So when it gets back up to that o'clock, I can see the hour hand will have moved just a little bit until it gets to 4. It's on its way to being 4 o'clock. So this is quarter to 4. So the reptile house opens at quarter past 10 and the reptile house closes at quarter to 4. And you can see here that we've got Astrid reminding us, I will work out what the minute hand says first. Okay, why don't you have a go at question 2? What times can you meet the macaws? There are 2 times that you can meet them and I've made them a bit bigger for you over here. Have a go at that, click pause and click play when you're done. So there are 2 times you can meet the macaws. We've got quarter past 8, and that's this first clock. You can see the minute hand has gone a quarter of the way round, and we've just gone past 8 o'clock. And the second time was quarter to 3, So you can see that the minute hand has got quarter of an hour left and the hour hand is on its way to being 3. So it's on its way to being 3 o'clock. And finally, our challenge. Now you're going to need a piece of paper and something to draw around for this. It would be very helpful if you were able to have an adult perhaps help you to draw a clock accurately, but if not, have a go just on the screen or have a go describing where the minute and hour hands would be in these times. So over here in the question, Kat is going to make 5:15, Ishan is going to make 1:45. Make or draw your own 1/4 and 1/4 times. Can you read your friend's time? So have a go at picking a time, 1/4 or 1/4, and either draw or describe where the minute and hour hands would be. Click pause here and have a go at that if you can. Well done if you managed to have a go at the challenge. Let's move on. It's time for you to have a go in your practice books. Today you're working on page 61, and as usual there's an extension question afterwards. So click pause here, have a go, and then join me again for that final extension question when you're done. Well done on working in your practice book. Here's the extension question for today. True or false? There are 30 minutes between 2:15 and 2:45. And you can see here we've got 2:15 being shown on the clock. Have a think, click pause, decide true or false, and click play when you have your answer. This one is true. A quarter of an hour is 15 minutes past the hour. There are 2 quarters of an hour between 2:15, look here's the minute hand that's come a quarter past, and 2:45. So you can see that the minute hand has moved 1 quarter, 2 quarters, and now it's up at the 9 and the time is 2:45. We're getting close to 3 o'clock. But that half that it's travelled, or 2 quarters, is made up of 2 lots of 15 minutes, and that is 30 minutes. That's it for now. We'll finish things there. Great work today. I'll see you again for our next lesson soon.